In this paper, we present WonderFlow. Data videos have gained increasing popularity in recent years. With data videos, data and numbers can be accurately described with charts and annotations, while insights and contexts behind the data are usually conveyed through voice narration. However, creating a data video involves various tasks, such as organizing data insights, recording narration audio, designing and applying animation effects, and aligning visual effects with audio on the timeline. These tasks not only require a lot of time and effort, but also expertise in multiple fields and professional tools. This hinders most non-professional users from creating such videos. In this work, we propose a new design pipeline that bridges the gap by constructing text-visual links to coordinate narrations and animations in data videos. We also introduce WonderFlow, an interactive authoring tool based on this new pipeline for creating narration-enriched data videos. Users should first upload a visual design and input the narration text. Then, users should select the narration words in the narration editor and link the text with relevant visual elements to be animated. Next, users can preview the animation presets in the animation effect panel and apply one animation to the text visual link. The selected narration and animation are time-aligned on the timeline. Next, we walk through a usage scenario to illustrate the creation process with the interface. Nancy is a graduate student. Recently, she wants to use WonderFlow to create a data video for her presentation. Nancy uploads the prepared visualization and inputs the text script for the visualization. WonderFlow automatically generates the narration audio. She checks the timestamps of the narration. Then, Nancy starts to create animations. To capture the audience's attention at first glance, Nancy intends to apply an entry animation for the bar chart. Once she selects the starting narration words in 2019, the visual canvas enters the selection state with a set of modes. Nancy first chooses the selection mode by group and clicks on an element on the x-axis. Then all related elements in the x-axis group are selected. She repeats similar operations to the y-axis group. Now that Nancy built the semantic link between the narration words and visual elements, and the corresponding animations for these selected elements are filtered out in the animation effect panel, she briefly browses the animation previews and finds the axis float and animation interesting. After selecting the animation, the corresponding entry animation icon appears on the timeline and before the selected narration words. Hovering on the animation icon will display the narration animation binding information. Nancy previews the data video.
In 2019, human-caused and
she is satisfied with the effect. Further, Nancy wants to show the bars right after the appearance of coordinates. So she binds the closely followed narration words human-caused and out-of-control fires with all the light-colored bar elements and applies a bar grow animation.
In 2019, human-caused and out-of-control fires burned 976.
After that, Nancy expects the textual annotation 976,200 to appear simultaneously with the narration 976,200 hectares. By binding these two, she then applies a zoom enter animation to make the text elements enter. Next, Nancy would like to emphasize the three major increases in deforestation rates in Amazon's history based on the final sentence in her narration script. When browsing and previewing the animation library, she finds the zoom in then zoom out animation design interesting, with which the elements first zoom in and then zoom out after a certain duration. So she binds the three pieces of text with the corresponding annotation elements and applies the animations. After that, Nancy fine-tunes the narration animation packs on the timeline. Ultimately, she previews the whole video.
In 2019, human-caused and out-of-control fires burned 976,200 hectares of the Amazon rainforest. That's the third highest increase in the rate of deforestation in the Amazon's history. At a 30% jump from the prior year, second only to 1995, which was 95%, and 1998, which was 31%.
Next, we will show more example cases created with WonderFlow.
First, investors get their guaranteed cut of at least 30%. The port, who looked the other way while they parked the ship, gets 5 to 10%. And the rest is split between the attackers, with a bonus of around $10,000 for being first to board the ship. The USA has the world's highest GDP of around $18.5 trillion. It's followed by China with a nominal GDP of $11.8 trillion, and then Japan with a GDP of around $4.8 trillion. The European Union would take second place, but the EU is a combination of 28 states. Here is a line chart. What does this show? It dedicates the ultra-low interest rates. That's the Bank England base rate. And that's an average mortgage rate. Those are historically low levels. In the Middle East, the entire 3.2 million square kilometer peninsula lacks a single natural river. The United States, in comparison, has 250,000. 98.8% of Dubai's water has to be pumped from the Persian Gulf and desalinated.
That's all. Thanks for your watching.